Welcome to Star Citizen, the Alpha 3.11 and another ship guide. Today we are looking at the Origin 100 series, which came into play with version 3.11. The new series is available in 3 different versions and complements the lineup of starter ships. On the one hand, the 100i is the basic version, the 125A as an entry-level fighter variant and the 135C as a small freighter version. And as in every ship guide, we start with the exterior, then we go into the interior, look at the fighting skills and of course the special features and possibilities that the 100 series offers. At the end we will check the flight characteristics in the atmosphere and draw a conclusion. The Origin 100 series is the same in all versions from the outside. The dimensions of 50 meters in length, 10 meters in width and 4 meters in height are identical, and the 100 series even fits into a Carrack. With an Origin 100 in the belly of a Carrack, it would be like Daddy 890 Jump and Mama Carrack, well you know. The 100 series definitely fits very tightly into the Carrack. We also see here all 3 new skins that came into the PledgeStore with the release of the series. The Slate Camo Paint, the Flame Paint and the Blue Armatine Paint. These are available as a package or individually. The smallest Origin ships speak the same design language as their larger relatives with clear lines and a clean look. The differences lie within. The 125A has about 4 additional missiles on board and the 135C has 4 SCU more cargo capacity. The 100i and the 125A have only 2 SCU here. Otherwise the equipment and armament with the 2 Side 3 hardpoints are the same. And this armament is definitely very strong for a starter ship. In the outside area we find 2 flaps for components in addition to the access to the interior. This one in the front left gives us access to the quantum drive. External components will be exciting when we have to repair them somewhere in the upcoming game versions. Under the wing at the back of the left side we have another access to components. We will then find the rest of the ship systems in the interior. But first let's take a look at the loading ramp that is only available on the 135C and houses the 4 SCU cargo capacity. And maybe you can pack something other than cargo here. The biggest innovation in the series, however, is the air fuel system. This is a refining system that converts gases into plasma and ultimately increases the range or reduces the consumption of fuel. Therefore, the 100 series has a significant longer range and lower consumption compared to other ships in this size. But now to the interior, which you can reach via the massive door and the small extending staircase. The door itself has small panes and the level of detail here is typical of Star Citizen. The interior itself is, contrary to the rest of the Origin fleet, too cold and empty in my opinion. It looks very sterile and more like an operating theater than a place to travel longer. But we have the absolute basic equipment like a bed which cannot be retracted at the moment and access to further components, as well as 2 SCU cargo holds which all ships of the series have here. The space is well used and under the bed there is space for one or the other delivery box. As a starter ship, the 100 series is definitely equipped with everything you can expect here, and that in an appealing and elegant look. At least no wires are hanging around or oil is leaking. Who said Drake here? The cockpit is also very straightforward and clear, and the panoramic window in the particular is one of the highlights of the interior. But let's take a look at the cockpit by turning the ignition key. The Origin HUD is one of the most beautiful in my opinion, and the 4 holographic MFDs expand the display harmoniously and meaningfully. And in addition to the Gladius, the 100 series is already equipped with usable and assigned buttons. These have a function and are usually also animated, and we can read the status from them. This feature should come to all ships, but so far it has only been reserved for the Gladius and this series. For me the arrangement of the 2 lateral MFDs is a bit annoying because they can only be read when you actively turn your head, but maybe I just need a bigger monitor. The ship HUD has also received a small update which applies to all ships. At the bottom right or left we see a new display about the active missiles and their number, and as well as the countermeasures. The 4 MFDs are holographic and we can configure them as usually according to our wishes. The only small mistake here is that if we don't select an end display, the menu does not remain holographically designed. Finally, the cockpit is very clear and the all-round view is very good. So you get the feeling you are sitting in a light fighter. And that brings us to the next point, the fighting skills of the 100 series. As always, you can find our loadout in the Discord. We used 2 Side 3 fix and the B30 neutron repeaters for the test. The remaining components are mostly the standard which comes with the ship. No matter which variant you use, the 100 series is equipped with the same hardpoints and has the same flight characteristics. And contrary to the flight characteristics on the test server, there was a small update and the 100 series definitely fly more pleasantly. Especially as one would expect from a ship this size, fast and agile. It is fun to fly and fight with the 100i, and with the 2 Side 3 hardpoints it has even more impact than you would expect from a light fighter. Especially since we are talking about a beginner ship that falls into the category of light starter ships such the Aurora or Mustang. Smaller opponents, as in missions up to CS2, are no obstacle. And even with multiple opponents, the 100 series is agile enough to evade enemy fire effects. You should only be careful of missiles. Use countermeasures here and possibly look for cover behind an asteroid or something else. Missions from CS3 or authorized execution warrants are also feasible, but not as easy and relaxed as with larger ships. However, due to the higher challenge, these missions are also more exciting. Opponents the size of a cutlass are also feasible as long as your weapons are strong enough to turn off the shields. On ships above the Andromeda, this becomes a test of patience. With an Aurora or Mustang, I'm not sure whether that would have turned out well. But thanks to the neutron repeater, we have a bonus on shield damage, and so I recommend this and the B30 for the 100 series. The maneuverability and agility are very good and can be best compared to a Buccaneer or similar ship. An Arrow is still less. But let's take a look of the actual fighter variant, the 125A. The only difference lies in the 4 additional Strike Force missiles and the standard components that come with the ship. So the added value is very low in my opinion. For our internal test, we changed the weapons and tested how the 100 series can be used in close combat. We fly with 2 Size 3 plasma scatterguns, and the 125i is also a lot of fun and powerful for such a small ship. And from a purely visual point of view, the 125A has a few flaps in the middle part that are only covered with grids, giving it a more aggressive look. And finally, we will of course test the 135C as a light freighter. Here we see the exclusive ramp in the stern, which accommodates 4 SCUs additional cargo to the 2 SCUs as standard. And that's all that the 135C brings to the 100i in terms of added value. Expect, of course, a significant surcharge. The flight characteristics in the atmosphere are still missing for our test. That's why we are doing extended round on Aberdeen, and what can I say, the 100 series is really a lot of fun here and flies like a real light fighter. Quick maneuverability and little drift make it a nice trip. Definitely a recommendation in this area, and thanks to the air fuel system we also use a lot less fuel than other ships. This is also one of the biggest pluses on the 100 series. The range in the Quantum is a good 700, and Aurora or other starter ships bishing to many middle range ships often come to 500 or 600 here. So if you are looking for a starter ship but don't want to buy a Titan Avenger straight away, the 100i is the best choice in my opinion. Currently one of the most attractive beginner ships. The added value of the 125A or 135C is not given here. There are some better ships for the same price. Expect for players who are looking for a small transporter for their Carrack, the 135C just fits in there. The entire 100 series is currently available in the PledgeStore. You can get the 100i as a Warbond version with fresh real money for almost 50 bucks, up to almost $70 for the 135C. The Warbond versions also come with a matching helmet, which can also be bought individually or as an extra package. And as I said, for the money of a 125A or 135C you can get almost a Titan Avenger or Origin 350p. Both are better equipped and the whole class higher. However, the price does not cost more than the more expensive versions of the 100 series. And the chic helms are also available if that should play a role. We have already seen the additional skins in the video and I think they look very good, but are not cheap either. There are also new starter packages, but here too I only recommend the 100i package and otherwise the Avenger Titan package for $80 as before. The Titan has 8 SCU and the better equipment for the same price. Otherwise the previous starter packages are still available and in direct competition with the 100i package. And of course there is also the new 100 series at Star Hangar. I left the link in the description for you, and you often get better prices here than in the PledgeStore. I hope you enjoyed the video and you leave me a like and a subscribe here. The new 100 series does a lot of things right and fits in well with the game. However, the differences are too small and currently I only recommend the 100i because the other variants offer too little added value or are simply too expensive for them. But also here I would like to remind you of the current giveaway which will continue to run until the 1000 subscriber mark is cracked. Here you have the chance to get the new 100i and not only with 6 months but 10 years of insurance. And all you have to do is to be a subscriber and have posted at least one comment under a video. I hope the whole thing was understandable for you and you had fun with the video. I say goodbye and say as always, see you in the verse.